Hey, NASDAQ, where you get the best dope on the markets. I am your human floor local. Look through these. We're going to look at some charts here. You know what? I'm going to blow through these fast right here, but we have some crude. This is going to be in the energy here. I just did some energies. These are going to be upside numbers. RBOB is unleaded gasoline here. Okay, and then I'll hit some here. These are some spreads here. June 26, June 27. Okay, it's a spread. It's another way to play this, either long or short. And then gold, silver, actually CME. I saw something about clearing problems. EU again. And then some cotton trades right here. So you know what? Let me just start here. This thing keeps coming up on this one screen here. This is RBOB here. Let's do it this way here so you can see it. Now look, you're not watching this video. You're not going to believe these numbers, okay? But I would suggest writing these down. This is in July. RBOB, RBE is the symbol here. These would be upside numbers here. We close right here, $2.80 a gallon. Okay, we were just at here, 205. We were at $1.80, man. Front months. So that's what we have Trump gas. This, if you believe, I think this is going to be a selling opportunity, okay? I'm not saying take it home short over the weekend or anything crazy, okay? But I'm talking about if you trade, there's going to be some spots here where you're going to be able to sell it. And then there might be times where there's no bid, okay? This is a European energy crisis, okay? This is not a U.S. energy crisis, okay? These are U.S. futures. I think you're looking to sell this thing in areas here. Let's go to the next one here. This is, you know what? This is the DST's crude oil right here. This, you know what? They dick around here because I paid for delay here. And they give me a bonus, a bogus data. I talk about data all the time. Anyway, we closed at 809 here, so right underneath this arrow. Okay, so these will be a couple here. This is off these highs back in 2013, and then I got some more on the way up. We're talking on the way up here. We're talking to something that this spread was just a minus $1.50. Now it's $8 over. Okay, so. If you don't understand it, okay, this is May crude oil, okay? This is not the April, this is the May. You know what? Well, you know what? If you trade all these months, you should hire me, okay? Because I talk about it. You have to have your analysis in each and every month for certain reasons, okay? Now, some of them are, like these gas ones, but actually, the May contract, this is the one that went to minus $40 for a day. But anyway, here, 113.60, 59. I don't know what the high was. That looks pretty darn close to an olive line sell. Okay, here's another one. We did not close up there, okay? So, so this is the banker's hours. This is a Friday mark to market. Actually, this is a quarterly, okay? And so this is where we are, but we did trade up here Sunday night, okay? And so that is May crude oil, okay? Whoops, hang on a second here. Okay, this is the one when we went up to 119.60 or 40 or something like that, okay? It traded, It's probably a couple guys that know one another here. And but anyway, we sat up there, and then we actually broke back down to 76. Okay, we did. Yes, we did. 77. You know what? And as a matter of fact, this is, I don't know what month this is here. Oh, this is Brent crude oil. Okay, this is what the Europeans are. So these are the areas here of interest. Okay, of interest here. I'm less excited about selling Brent. This is the June spread here, okay? And this is banker's hours, okay? So this is what we did. We went from $23 over back down to $10 over, which still is expensive. Here we're less than $5 over, okay? So this has been a jolt to the markets. This is June on a daily basis. Crude oil. This is gold here. look, see this apex? Where is this apex? Right up here, 51.44. So I have a client, actually a pit friend, and here, we'll blow it up here. I had this as a big apex here. You had a downward sloper, head and shoulders top, purple. You had an upward sloper, this brown right here, and it crossed right here. You know what? This might not be. This might look like it crossed the next bar, but it did cross. This is probably a larger, longer term chart. You know, maybe like I don't know, 200 minutes or something like that. Time frames are custom, okay, because that's and that's premium. You know, you want to learn what the time frames are. You know, take my mentorship course. Take a mentorship course, custom designed to you. Anyway, so so here gold broke, and then actually here, this was yesterday morning here, we made a run up here, and look at this. You did an outside down bar, okay, and then you followed through here. You can see some more trend lines here. This black one's a big one here. This was today it's at 50.80, okay. 2 bars ago it might have been at 50.75, right? Because it's going up. Here we caught it. Here they bought it against that low. Okay, we stayed here. We just did this. Okay, we probed down there, reversed up, and then what do? We take that out, okay? And then here, this bar is the high right here, okay? Just for a scalp, you know, that's how you would use these charts. If you wanted, you were like, give me the charts with the levels here. 79.58. Listen, I just did this here on an off-brand chart here, and you know what? It's the green right here from this. Okay, so we did do this green. I do have several levels in here, okay? See 2 oranges. The sequence goes green, orange, thin olive, thick olive, okay? Here you can see there's a thin olive right on top of that other one here, so 75.64. If you're looking this week, and you know, and we went down to 79.52, okay? So this guy did buy, but that is going to be a pivot. That looks like that's the low there. And here was the previous low after the retracement, okay? So on the way up, 122, down to 65, 50% haircut in like 3 days. Back up to 97. This was big too. That's a gap up there. These yellow things, see these yellow horizontal lines? You can see them good over here. So, you know, and what do? We closed at, what's that, 81.76 is this one. 81.22, where did we close? Under it. Okay, doesn't look like it right there, but these are CQG professional charts. What is this? Oh, this is the CME group. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. But if you trade stocks, I have a ton of stocks. Okay, I got a ton of stocks that if you're looking for trading levels or big levels anyway. Here you can see here we got a downward sloping trend line. What is this? Is this cattle? No, this is gold. Okay, so this is gold. Where was that area? 51.44. Okay, it had to happen back here. This was the retracement of that here, okay? So this was after we hit this, the first break, and then we came down. This is probably a little olive line just off that, okay? And then we come up here, you can see I just have a trend line, and we're over all of that. The green is the 200. This is a 200 bar on a something shorter term here. As a matter of fact, very short term. And, okay, let's go to the next one here. This is crude. This is a daily chart, okay? A daily chart of crude. So there's your 119.60, okay? And then we came back down here to 77 the next day. The next day, okay? So when you're like this, you know, for example, you know, if you were looking to sell this, that would be a very scary sell because it's probably going to mean that there's some you know, damage in the Middle East. So that is crude oil. This is cotton. You know what? This is during the day. We ended up closing, I think, around 80. But these are here. Here's a nice little trend line here. Here you come back and you tag this, okay? You tag this late in the day, or not even late in the day. This is at 10:12 in the morning, Friday the 13th, okay? And, and this is a 12-minute chart, okay? Just to kind of show the little action here. 65 times, you rally 100. 120 would be 2%. So that's cotton. I don't know. I like cotton. You know, I think if you need to buy cotton, I buy cotton. I wouldn't even dick around here. So here's crude oil here. This is meal here. Meal actually is, the funds are long it now here. So that's kind of a game changer here. This is bean oil. These are not all-time highs, okay, but 70 cents we got up to. We were just under 50, okay, in December. Um, so we've had a terrific run here. And it might not be over here because now we got the crude oil. You're going to blend some bean oil. You're going to blend some corn for ethanol. This is corn here. Actually, we closed over this on Friday here at 466 and 3/4 here. This is a couple old lows. So think of it, I'm going to make this up. Think of it as an inflation line. This particular, here's one for you, okay? So you can go from these olives up to the greens, okay, fast. This is in the S&P. This one worked here. This one did not. This was the high right here, 24,800. We did not get up to the green here. Here's an olive. Here's an olive. This is about the 5th time down on it. As a matter of fact, Friday late in the day, we closed under it here. This is actually, this is early in the morning here. Here, 9:20 a.m. Okay, this was after the first run, the first bar of buying, okay? Find out what the time frame is. But, this is what I want to point out here. See this low right here, 66.40, okay? So it's 9 o'clock in the morning. 66.40 is the low here, but you can see we did not trade down there. That means that the previous night, okay, or morning, right? That's because that's one market, that we traded 66.40. Okay, and then what we did is we went up to 67, 35, 32. This would be just that if you bought this, you sell this, it's a scalp, okay? It's an algo swing trade, okay? That has happened too many times here. This is the NASDAQ here. What did we get down to? 397 there, okay? So we got just under 400, okay? And then look at this. We're at 668 at 9 o'clock in the morning here, okay? So we're 250 higher, and we just went up to 800. So we just rallied 400 points. This was Friday early, okay? This was in the morning, okay? We had this whole slowdown trade, you know, the world is crashing, and Bloomberg is absolutely against Trump, okay? And they are just hyping panic and fear. So anyway, so that's just a little backtrack. Now, we went back down and closed here. This thing looks awful. I think stocks look awful. That we could go lower here. This is a morning shot here, and so this is, what is this, 96 minute here. So here, this is 5 o'clock right here, and then we went down here, and then, so, okay, throughout the night. Okay, here, 85.62, here, where's that? That's got to be right here. Or maybe it's, no, it's got to be right here. It's got to be right here. Okay, so, and then 81.50 was the low, which is a red down there, okay? As a matter of fact, I had another one in 50.25. We hit this, 50.25. I think 50.22 was late. And then here's this approach here, okay? So we have another support trend line, test it once, test it to this bar, test it this bar, bust under it, and then hold back over, okay? And then when you get through there and you close under there, so, and we did go down to this. I forget where we closed, as a matter of fact. You know, let's go. Okay, and this is hogs, bottom right. Okay, this is actually Deese cattle. These are getting different now, okay, because the administration said they're going to get down beef prices, okay, and they're going to also feed it in the schools, okay, Maha. Robert Kennedy. So anyway, here's the 200-day here. You know what? We can't see the 200-day. The 200-day was like the lows on some of these. Down here. Maybe where is the 200? You know what? They're not on here. Okay, they're not on here. I don't have the moving averages on these two. But as a matter of fact, the 200 is, I believe, down here somewhere in the, this is in the June cattle. You close under the 200, man. I don't know. You got a hard time telling me that it's, you know, we're still in a bull market, you know, especially in this day and age here. So this is, you know what, this is March, RBOB, this is unleaded gas. You know what, I just want to show this. This is last June, okay? So here now we're coming into the end of spring. And, you know, so unleaded gas has not gone up that much. I mean, it still went from 170 to 40 cents. Okay, but nothing like what they just jacked them up at the pump. So I think that if they're at 360 here, well, this is our Bob. So if $1.70 bought you 270 gas in Illinois, okay, and now we got 216. It should be 316, okay? Because I've seen this 360, 370, okay? So that, another thing that's going to be bearish for the economy, for people. So I think we're going to call this a wrap. Let me just point out here, this is nat gas, and this is a weekly here. So you can see how unaffected nat gas is. Even though there's nat gas. As a matter of fact, 2 tankers just went through the Straits of Hormuz this week, and they had actually China flags on them. So Iranian crude. So, but that's nat gas, and that's going to India. Okay, like I said, I've been saying this from last Tuesday. So about day 2, day 3 of the war, that it was absolutely going to hose. I mean, these BRIC nations, and they might end up having to sell some gold. Okay? So, anyway, those are just a couple thoughts here. This is August nat gas here, 361. Here, this is at 470, okay? So this is in August here, so they're not looking for much in the nat gas market. If you need anything like that, you need any research, email me, arp@nasdog.com. Always use a risk stop to stop the risk. And how about another one? Sell when you can, not when you have to. That's a very important trading lesson. Thanks for watching.